Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Today is Sunday, March 14th. So we are about halfway through the month of March. I hope that everyone is doing well with their goals as far as the listing challenge goes. But not only doing well with their goals, but doing well with assessing how they're doing with their goals. So last week I challenged you guys to do one further step as far as this listing challenge goes. I challenged you guys for the past week to keep track each day and write down, if you were succeeding in your goals, how easy it was for you. And if you weren't succeeding in your goals, to write down and keep track of why you weren't succeeding. Were you not succeeding because of things outside of your control, or were you not succeeding because you were fiddle-farting around? And I wanted you to be 1,000% honest with yourself. At the very least, you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you're not meeting your goals continually because of things outside of your control, that's when you need to sit down and reassess your schedules, your routines, your to-do lists, and your goals themselves, and maybe revamp them a little bit. Because if you can't reach your goals because there's so many things going on in your life that are outside of your control, you're just never going to reach them. It's just not going to happen. It's just not attainable. If you have so much going on that you can't list 20 a day, it's just not going to happen. You're just going to keep writing 20 a day, never reaching them, and you're going to keep feeling discouraged. And that is not a good way to feel. And you're going to keep feeling like a failure, and that's not a good way to feel. And I don't want anyone to feel that way. That is a horrible way to feel, and none of us are failures. None of us are bad people because we can't reach our goals, because we have things going on in our lives that are outside of our control. It's just not a good way to feel, and this is why I challenged you guys to take this further step this past week. I wanted you to really take a look at why you weren't achieving your goals if you weren't achieving them over and over again on a continual basis. But on the other hand, if the honest truth was that you weren't reaching them time and time again because you were spending too much time on Candy Crush or Best Fiends or Netflix or reading books or whatever you were doing that constitutes fiddle farting around and just not getting the work done, that is your fault. That is within your control. Not that you're a failure, but you're definitely wasting time. That is definitely within your control, and that is definitely something that you can change. So in both of those instances, that's something you can change. You can accept the fact that you either have a lot going on in your life outside of your control that is just eating up your time, and adjust your goals accordingly and say, look, I can only list 10 a day. That's all I have time for. And then you can start achieving those 10 every day and start to feel like a success and start to feel like you're achieving something, which, trust me, is a much better feeling. Or on the other hand, you could admit to yourself, listen, I waste too much time. I fiddle fart around. I need to put the phone down. I need to put the games down. I need to put the books down. I need to make a better to-do list. I need to make better routines and schedules and put the work in and stop messing around and wasting time. And again, that's a good feeling too. If you know you can list 20 a day, but you're not because you're wasting time, stop wasting time. Everyone's life is different. We all have different families. We all have different responsibilities and things going on in our life. We all have different family units. We all have different responsibilities. I already said that word, but we just all have different setups. We all live with a different amount of people. We all have different amounts of pets. Some of us work outside of the home. Some of us don't. So it is very feasible that some of us may be able to list 50 to 100 new items a day. I mean, if you're on Amazon and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, you could list 100 a day. You really could. But if you have a lot of responsibilities and a big family and lots of pets, and you do used clothing and you do measurements and you're listing on eBay, 5 to 10 might be your limit. And that's okay. Neither one of those situations is better than the other. Neither one of those people is better than the other. It just depends on what is going on in your life and you personally, and that is up to you to take charge of, to realize, and to keep track of. I just don't want anyone, here's the thing, I don't want anyone to feel like a failure. I don't want anyone to keep coming up short and not hitting their goals and feeling dejected, because that is really tough. That is a really bad feeling when you feel like you're consistently not meeting your goals. It's a much better feeling at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, to have met your goals and feel successful. But I also don't want anyone to not be meeting their goals because they're wasting time and not becoming the person that they can be. There's a huge difference. I want you to be everything you can be within the limits of what you have in your life and your obstacles that you have to deal with, whether it's outside obligations or physical limitations or mental health issues or disabilities. But I also want you to be putting in as much work as you can and not wasting time. Of course, there's time to fart around. Of course, there's free time. Of course, you can reward yourself and take time off. I always tell you guys that is as important. You should absolutely be taking time to recharge your batteries and doing things that fulfill you and spending time with family and friends and hobbies that make you happy. But you can't be doing it all the time. You can't be doing that instead of work. You can't be wasting time. You have to put the work in. If you have time to do 20 listings a day and cross post and share your closet and end your listings and relist them and be active on social media and start a YouTube channel, whatever all your work entails each day, you got to do that first. And then at the end of the day, you can reward yourself with a couple episodes of your favorite show, or a half an hour to an hour on your favorite video game, or a movie, or a couple chapters of a book. And then on the weekend, you can take a day off and spend time with your family or your friends or at the park or with your pets or whatever you personally like to do. We all have different interests. Some of us like to craft. Some of us just like to veg and watch movies. All of us are different, and you can absolutely take that time to fulfill yourself and recharge those batteries, but you can't be doing it every day, and you can't be doing it instead of work. Just because you work from home doesn't mean you get to lay around and do nothing. So I don't want anyone to feel like they're a failure because they're not meeting their goals, because they're not being realistic about the actual time they have for work, because they aren't taking into account their life and their responsibilities and their obstacles. But I also don't want anyone to just not be working because they're just not working. You got to figure out what it is. So I hope everyone took the time this week to actually take a good, hard, honest look at if they were meeting their goals and why not. And if you were meeting your goals, on the other hand, and you felt like they were too easy, I hope you took note of that. If you felt like they were too easy and you had too much spare time on your hands, I hope that you took the time to realize that and maybe added a couple more listings to your goal. Maybe you added cross-posting to your goal, or a new platform, or a new type of work. Maybe you added direct sales or sales on Instagram. Maybe you added a YouTube channel or something different. So if you haven't joined us yet, you can jump in right where you are at any time. You don't have to have been doing this from the beginning of March or from the beginning of when we started in February. You can jump in the middle of March. You can jump in wherever you're at. You need to join. I'm so bossy. You should join the Facebook group. It's called Flippin Hippos Reseller Pod. There's a link below. Once you're in the group, go to the announcement section. There's a huge pinned thread in there. It says March Listing Challenge. Go in there, participate in that thread. That's where we check in. Now, you personally, you can check in once a day, multiple times a day, once a week or once a month, however often you want to or feel the need to update us and yourself and be accountable to the goals that you're going to hold yourself accountable for the listing challenge in March. We're calling this a listing challenge. So you could have a listing goal for eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, any of the platforms that you list on, but it doesn't just have to be a goal for listing. Some folks are using this as a goal to get through a death pile or an I don't want a pile. Some folks are using this for sourcing or any other aspects that are related to our jobs as resellers. We're just calling it a listing challenge, but anything that you want to accomplish within the many, many, many hats that we wear as resellers. I think some people are even doing goals based on getting their books caught up as far as accounting and getting closer to tax time. You know, we have a month, April 15th, right? So you can use this as anything you want, any goals you want. We're just calling it a listing challenge because that's what most people are doing. I'd like for you guys to have some kind of a listing challenge attached to it, but you can have more than one goal. You can have 20 goals. You can have one goal. You can have 3 goals. And again, you can check in as many times as you want within that thread. A lot of people are checking in with each other and having partners and buddy systems and holding each other accountable and encouraging each other and picking each other up when they fail and congratulating each other when they accomplish their goals. I do a video every single weekend, just like this one. And so you can check in on the comments here as well. You can only check in on the YouTube video or only check in the Facebook group or check in on both. It's up to you guys. I'm leaving it all up to you. You can be as public about your goals as you want or as private. I would just recommend that you check in with somebody somewhere so that you're accountable. If you just watch the videos by yourself every weekend and only check in with yourself in your bullet journal or your notebook where you're keeping track, you're not as accountable as if you say it out loud to someone else. If you do it in the group or on this video, at least it's public and someone knows and you're more accountable. Or if you tell a spouse or a friend in real life, someone knows and you're accountable. So, but you don't have to do it as public as the group or here. You can just tell someone in your life and then watch the videos to get the excitement and the encouragement. I don't ever challenge you guys to do something that I don't participate in. So I am participating with you guys. And at the end of these weekly videos, I do tell you where I'm at in the challenge and if I accomplished my goals the past week. To catch everyone up who may be new to this, my personal goals for this challenge are for Monday through Friday. I would like to list 10 new things on eBay and cross-post 10 items to Poshmark and a minimum of 5 to Mercari. Ideally, I would like to double that cross-posting. So 10 to eBay, 20 to Poshmark, and 10 to Mercari, which should be easy because I use List Perfectly's bulk tool to cross-post. Didn't reach it this week. But I did, along with you guys, keep track of why I wasn't reaching my goals, and it is outlying circumstances that are way beyond my control. We have a lot going on in our lives right now, a lot of situations, events, appointments, and things going on outside of the house that are way beyond my control, and I just didn't have the time to take enough photographs to have enough items ready for listing. So this is circumstances beyond my control. So what I did was what I could. I did exactly the amount of work that I could do. I just kept going. I kept positive. I stayed positive. I only missed my goal by very, very little. I think I missed it by 9. I actually ended up listing a few items to eBay yesterday morning to try to reach my overall goal of 50 new items for the whole week overall to eBay. And I think I came in at like 41 or 42. So I wasn't off by very much to eBay. I just didn't have enough photos. I ran out of time. I had not enough photos. So what I did was I ran out of time. I didn't have enough photos. So I listed what I had yesterday morning. I ran out of time to list too, because clearly I was listing on a Saturday, which I don't normally do. I took some extra photos yesterday. Don't judge me. I watched The Little Mermaid Part 2 on Disney Plus and took a ton of extra photos of some of my Plush friends that I had bought wholesale. Got a ton of those ready for the upcoming week. So hopefully I won't run out of photographs. I'll have enough saved up, so to speak, so that I will have stuff to list when I run out of time, because this upcoming week I have a feeling I'm going to run into the same problem as I did last week. Not enough time and enough stuff going on outside of my control where I won't have enough time. We just have a lot going on right now, but I can recognize that. Just like I asked you guys to do, I kept track every day very clearly on my bullet journal of what was going on, and it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is stay positive, keep moving, keep going, and keep listing every day and just getting as close to my goals as I can, and recognize where I fail and why I fail and what I can do moving forward to try to help that. And one of those things was to spend a Saturday afternoon taking extra photographs so that next week, hopefully I won't run into the same problem. But I was only like 8 or 9 shy of my goal, which is good. But we were supposed to finish up our taxes yesterday. We started last Saturday catching up our books. We are all caught up on our accounting as far as books. We just need to get all of our 1099s and all of our forms together and actually file through the TurboTax, but we have until April 15th. So I said to Keith, what would happen between now and next week if we didn't file our taxes? Nothing, because we have until April 15th. But what would happen between now and next week if I didn't take extra time to take extra photographs? I might not be able to list as much, and that's more important between now and next week, that I have enough stuff to list, because that's now. The taxes are till April 15th, right? Got to weigh like what's more important. So hopefully that will help. I did fall short on Poshmark and Macari. I think there were like 3 days I didn't even get around Macari at all. And Poshmark, I may have fallen like 10 or 20 short of cross posting. So I wish we had more time in the day, or like we didn't need to sleep. What if there was like a magic pill you could just take and you never had to sleep and you could just keep going? All right, guys, let me know down in the comments how you're doing. If you want to check in here, if you want to check into the Facebook group, that's good too. Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. If you're just joining us, jump in right where you're at. We would love to have you join us. We will be continuing this challenge through the year as long as people are interested. I have absolutely loved it. It has kept me motivated. It has kept me accountable. It has kept me excited, and it has made me take a look at things in a different way, and really made me look at things differently and just do things a little bit differently, I think, and made me more motivated, I think, throughout the week. I don't know. But anyway, comments below, thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't. It really helps the channel, and it helps us feed these hungry hippos. Until next time, guys, go be productive. Go make some money. Keep track of those goals. Keep track of if you're hitting them or not, and why. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Bye.